So from the Philadelphia Wings, we got Kevin Crowley joining us now. Kevin, what you been up to? We got no lacrosse to play, very little new stuff to watch. Like, what's up?
Yeah, it's been a tough time. Obviously, watching a lot of film, a lot of the Philadelphia Wings games from this past season. Even looking back and seeing stuff we've done in the past, or old Wings games, just to try to stay within the game. It's like I said, it's been crazy, and obviously I miss being out there with the boys.
As a player who the rhythm is you travel on the weekends, whether it's winter or summer, like you're not home a lot in terms of what
Right.
you do on the lacrosse field or on the floor. How has this been different? Like, how have you adjusted?
It's been a huge adjustment. It's on not having a weekend where I'm putting my body through the rigors of a lacrosse game. It's tough to describe. It's like you almost expect to be sore on Sunday. Like one time I got out of my car and I was like hobbling out of there and I was like, wait a second, I didn't have a game. Like there's no need for me to be hobbling around. So it's actually, it's been great for my body. I feel like to have the break, obviously unfortunate circumstances, but, taking the time to, rehab your body and rest up and make sure that, if we get the call that you're good to go is the most important thing right now.
How do you try to stay sharp?
I guess, watching film, I always say to the kids that I coach, you gotta, you can learn from just sitting on your couch. And this is before, we were forced to stay on our couch, but, before you go to bed, you can always watch film and learn from other people's mistakes and become a better lacrosse player. So doing that, also getting workouts in. You obviously have to be more creative in these times because you don't have access to all that equipment that you're probably normally used to. Like my gym's closed in my apartment building, so I went on Amazon and I bought some, med ball, stability ball, ladder, hurdles, just stuff that I can, go down to the parking garage in my building and find myself a little area to get some work in just to stay sharp, like you said.
What's for like somebody at home, like what's a unique thing you started to do that you figured out like workout wise that works for you that maybe surprised you?
Oh man, I think the way my workouts were set up, it was with. So I've been training with a guy named Jeff Cathery from Forge Integrated Health back home in BC, and he writes me a program that I can do. Like he writes it remotely, obviously, because I can't go in and see him. And a lot of his exercises were things that you can do. That was like functional mobility and functional strength that you don't need a lot of equipment to do. It obviously helps, but just being creative, like it's funny. I think back to Scotty Rogers in the Hamilton Nationals days. He said, kids don't realize what they have in their playgrounds. And what he meant was like, there's all sorts of ways you can do dips on like the different bars these kids have, or have chin ups on a swing set, So there's that was one of my ways that I was, accessing this equipment. And it's kind of funny thinking back to Scotty Rogers and, saying that about the kids and the setup they didn't appreciate because they couldn't work out on it or whatever.
And if it can work for Scotty Rogers in terms of weightlifting, it can work for any of us, right?
Yeah, well, he has a leg up on everyone a little bit. He's a little bit bigger than everyone else, but yeah, he's a great guy and obviously, probably the strongest guy in lacrosse.
Yeah, most certainly. So your wing season, you guys had put together a really impressive start to this year, and it felt like you had finally gotten it all to click after a year where you had some pieces coming in and out. How frustrating is it to not know what is going to happen with the rest of the season, especially with how good you guys were playing?
Yeah, it's frustrating. Obviously bringing in Higgins, he's been our MVP of the season so far, obviously. The confidence that you have as a group when your goaltender is going to make saves for you is awesome. And, we trying to stay on the group chat. We're trying to, keep the team involved with each other so that, like I said, when that call comes that we're ready to go. But you're right, it's frustrating. But I always say, worry about the things you can control. And that's obviously your physical fitness and staying in touch with the guys. So that's where the focus lies right now.
If you guys are able to come back and somehow play kind of into the summer, like what are your feelings on continuing to play later than you may normally?
I'm open to it. Like I said, that's a decision that's way above me, and whatever they decide, then I'll be happy to just get back with the guys. That's one thing I miss the most. You know, I know everyone's missing their, not being able to see their family and friends, but like in lacrosse, you're legitimately forced to hang out with 23 of your best friends every weekend. So I obviously, you know, missing that part of it, and hoping to get back and hoping everyone stays safe and gets through this, healthy and get ready to go again.
When you look back at the season that has been so far, what's the moment or the game that stuck out to you, which is maybe your favorite or the one where you felt like you guys had it all together?
It's funny. I don't think we put four quarters together, and we've won a lot of tight games. But I don't think we've had our best game yet. And again, adding to the frustration, right? We felt like we were on the cusp of having that breakout game. We had lost a few at the end of our run there. So we thought that, we were poised to have a big breakout game, and, hopefully that's the first game back.
So on a lighter note, and none of us can get a haircut, which is going to be an issue for me pretty soon. I know you're going hat. Like, what's the hairstyle going to be like for you moving forward?
I thought that looked pretty good. So you're holding it together. This mop might have a different story. Might be the time where I just grow my hair out as long as I can, because I'm not cutting it myself like I used to do in college.
Yeah, hey, I don't know if I can go there yet, so we've got another couple weeks until this thing really gets out of control. Kevin, stay safe. We appreciate the time, and we hope to see you back on the floor at some point when this all settles down.
Yeah, thank you.